Oh, man.
So you work for a TV company or something? Or
No, I just have a
website thing?
I have a YouTube channel.
Oh, you do?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this?
About 3 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, well, I don't know what else. More power to you.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah.
So those are things that I want to make sure that everybody knows. It's not just for, it has a motive of monetary motive and making sure we have it right because the east side is in Valley, does not have a softball league. And of course, we're close to Sanelli, Clint's, and Fayetteville's.
Mayor,
Ms. Villalobos?
so I'm all for this. I just want to look at the legal side of it and the administrative side of it. So are we stating that with $10,000 we will improve the parks so that we have the proper equipment to play softball in this area and to promote it? However, this is dollars from our citizens, and I just want our attorney to make sure that we're allowed to use these funds, if that's what we're requesting, and how it's going to be administered. Who's gonna take care of it, who's the treasurer, et cetera, et cetera. How does it work? That's what I'm trying to, because if we allow this, are we going to allow other, sports and, leagues to be formed and, will the city be, responsible for these leagues? Those are my questions.
So this is an infant stage of starting a recreational sports league, just like the city of El Paso does, just like they have adult basketball per se. We are in the works of having an interlocal agreement with the SISD and making sure we have all our fields covered. We have that's the basis right now, so we're looking to start something that kids and maybe adults have a different avenue of doing other things than being on the streets. And so that's it. It's going to make money in itself in the future, and that's where we want to make sure that we improve. I am asking for 2,500 to 5,000 just for advertising and just a little upgrades to the parks, and also Cooper Park will be our area where we can let vendors in during softball games, Saturdays and Sundays, and make it a family. We're just trying to improve the quality of life, because the biggest thing that I hear is that I'm leaving SOCORRO because my kids have softball games or baseball games or anything else outside of SOCORRO. And I'm just trying to make sure that we give the opportunity for our community to make sure they can stay here, they can drive to the parks, they can do work with SISD, and be a great partnership. And that's what I'm trying to do here. And it's the infancy of a recreational. It would be another department with the city of SOCORRO, and we would make sure that everything runs as smoothly as possible. It's just like another program, just like anything else we do here in the city of SOCORRO.
Okay, and our attorney, we're okay with this?
I don't see an issue with regard to spending general funds on a youth league like that, so no, I don't. Yeah, to answer your question, no, I don't see any significant issues with regard to spending general funds for.
Mr. Taylor, go ahead and speak directly to the microphone. I'm so sorry, I did not hear you, sir.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, no, I just wanted to state that there's no prohibition from using general funds for the purposes of assisting a municipal sports league. And so, those participants, there'll be some releases and issues that we would have to create to provide provide as much protection for the city of Socorro as possible, but there's no prohibition about providing funds to start such a league from a legal perspective.
And Mr. Bartlett, do you see a problem with administration?
No, ma'am, actually, I know.
I mean, this is wonderful, it really is.
Yes.
Gives kids another avenue, but I just want to make sure that we're not adding more burden, or do we need to hire a recreational director?
No, ma'am, actually, our chief of police has, kind of started something like this, so I know that he would be assigned to make sure that he, this goes to fruition, because he's very interested in making sure that the youth, and I'll let him speak, he's at the podium. But I mean, we discussed this earlier today, actually, and, I think that it was something that he was already planning, maybe not to this magnitude, but we were planning on already bringing something to the youth.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Mayor, can I just talk a little bit?
Yes.
Thank you. Mayor and Council, Dave Burton, Chief of Police. So in my spare time, I do coach. I've been coaching since I got here. I coached for 9 years before I got here. I think that your costs are a little low. When we started a police athletic league here in 2019, and we put $26,000 into that. Referees, I can tell you right now, on the youth level, we're paying $400 a game per referee. So just to let you know, as far as costs are concerned. You are gonna have to get some field marking equipment. That's a lot of what our $26,000 went into. Lining equipment, chalk, paint, etc. You are gonna need some maintenance. You might wanna look at some irrigation sprinkler type systems to make sure that the grass is going to maintain, because the last thing you wanna do is chew it up, especially if you're running one game after another, which you would do, especially on the adult type level leagues. I'm a big fan of athletics. I don't think that we utilize our facilities here enough in the city with the amount of parks that we do have available to us. Across the street is a prime example. I'd like to see that filled every weekend. So I can certainly, and again, the youth part of this would certainly fit into the police department's mission as far as taking these young individuals, giving them a positive experience with police officers, giving them something else to do. So as you said, Mr. Garcia, they're not on the street. You get a lot of interest for flag football. That's one of the leagues that we ran, and we had 14 participants in that. And that's the first time that anything like that in the city had been tried. Unfortunately for us, we picked the COVID years to start that, so we had a lot of interruption back and forth. I still have some funding left to run basketball and soccer, which I'd like to do for youth as well. So we can certainly take that part of it. Administratively, the adult side is a little bit different. For example, you're gonna start charging team fees to cover some of your costs. I would do that. Some of my guys and girls play basketball, for example, on Sundays in a police athletic league that is for adults. They all kick in their money for the team. Their funds go to pay the refs for that. So we have individuals that are currently employed here that participate in these type of activities. Big fan of this stuff.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Now, and that's, like, I'll tell you this much. It saved my life. Sports saved my life, straight up. Growing up where I grew up, and it was always to baseball practice, it was always to football practice. My mom pushed me. And so I think those are things that are very important and have been missing for years in Socorro. Like I told you already, we're already talking to SISD about having an interlocal with gyms, baseball, football, so those are the things that these kids need to be doing. The first one is adult softball league, to be clear. A softball league will in turn to the profit to fund and help fund our youth league that is the next item. So thank you, Chief.
And also, Ms. Velázquez and Alejandra, do you guys think that we could look for grants for these type of projects? Or yes?
Yes, definitely. Alejandra will speak on that.
Good afternoon. Yes, the Police Athletics League through the Police Department received a grant from the Juvenile Justice and Truancy Prevention Grant Program because designed for the officers to mentor the youth and instill in them that academic excellency aspect of it, so that's possible. There is an application coming up that is due on February 10th. So we'll work with the police department to submit a grant requesting additional funds for more years of that program. There is also the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, which we have discussed with the administration. They fund development of parks and facilities that currently are not existing in a community. So for example, a baseball park would be one of them. It is kind of a lengthy application process, but we have enough time because that application is due until October 1st. But there's certainly grants that we can combine in addition with city funds to make this happen.
And you know, Council, just wanted to let you know, some of these questions I might know the answer to, but the constituents that actually watch these videos don't. So a lot of these questions I ask ahead of time or because I'm being asked. So don't think that I'm trying to oppose anyone. I think this is wonderful. I remember my son, he played almost every sport, all the way till he graduated. And so I truly believe that we need it. I just wanted to make sure that we were doing it legally, number one, and number two, that there's other ways of funding, just not just with this, our constituents' money or the city money. Believe it or not, there's a lot of older folks that don't consider this to be a priority to the city, even though it should be, because yes, you're right, it motivates our children, and you and I remember not, most, well, I don't know, I try to consider myself you guys in my age group, but you're not. We didn't have video games, remember when we were young. So our playing outside with the ball and the stick or whatever was our recreational. It kept us from, falling into the wrong hands and doing the wrong things. So I really believe in all this. If I ask these questions, believe me, it's not just me. I know there's a percentage that I know of older adults that don't believe in all this for our children. The parks, they think it's a waste. I hear it over and over. Why do we have parks? We don't know how to maintain them. They're so dirty. They're this or that. Whatever the case may be. So I'm glad to hear that we could possibly find grants. I'm glad to hear that we could, if we put the money, we could get reimbursed some of that money back with the fees that we charge to the teams. So, anyways, I'm good with this. Thank you.
Motion to approve $5,000.
We have a motion.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. But I want to amend it. Motion to approve the $5,000 and direct staff to search for grant dollars to help fund the program as it develops and grows. Second.
Question, where is that money going to?
The 5,000 will go into just upgrading the fields. Cougar Park will be the main field. Putting in, it might need bases, it might need a new home plate, maybe some fence fixing, maybe some safety procedures that it needs on the fence. So that's where we're at right now.
So the city's gonna take care of that?
As of right now, that would be the initial cost. And then the city, it's very easy to chop the field or anything like that. I think Cougar Park is something that we haven't utilized as much, and it's a historic place. So yeah, it's good just to start up and advertising, because you need a lot of advertising. And this is for the softball league, for the adult softball league. So this is for advertising to bring in teams here in the lower valley, and there's tons of them that travel all over the city. But I can almost assure you there's going to be a lot of teams interested in the city of SOCORRO softball league.
And so that's why I'm not sure, I'm not clear. So the city's going to take care of looking into putting all that, the plates, or are we hiring a company?
It should be us. It should be us, it's not very difficult. It should be us, maintenance.
Ms. Rodriguez?
When you say us, is that the city?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
The city.
City, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So the city will look into that and.
That is, yes, that's what Mr. Garcia is requesting.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's move on.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares.
Yes.
Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Yes.
And Iván Colom Villalobos.
Mr. Nevada, you should respect.
Let's move on.
If you don't, if you have already sir, if you want to do the proper, I was going to, I will put it very important. I will walk here on it.
Your time?
I never had church respect or like that, but you've done this many
Because
times.
I'm not gonna give you,
I
you
see
know,
it.
time and then give you the gap. Respect each other's time, please.
Let's move on.
Item number 22, discussion and action to approve the start of a youth athletic league in the city of Socorro.
Motion to approve.
Second. So this is the actual youth league. I'll read the statement of issue. The youth of the city of SOCORRO are left to their parents' ability to transport them and financially support the athletic aspirations outside the city of SOCORRO. To help the quality of life in the city of SOCORRO, starting a youth athletic program with a wide range of sports. Youth sports have always been a deterrent for youth from crime and illegal activities. So like our chief mentioned that's the biggest thing. That's the one thing that I've wanted to do for a very long time. And the softball league goes hand in with our youth league, because we want to make sure that people can go, like, my dream is to have District 1 teams, District 2 teams, play District 3 teams, play District 4 teams, and have people not worry about leaving the city of Socorro or not looking for a ride to go to the Sportsplex or Blackie Chester. It's just, hey, get ready to go to Rio Vista. Hey, get ready to go to Socorro High School. Hey, get ready to go to Nesco Sedna. And that makes it, for a community like ours, a humble community, it's easier to make sure that those kids get to those sports when it's a mile away. So that's my statement of issue. And I am asking for $10,000 invested into this program, because this will be a citywide program, and hopefully working with our police officers and chief of them.
I have one quick, go ahead.
Mr. Cruz?
Mr. Reyes raised his hand.
Just real quick, about transportation, you mean like have a.
Oh, no. By transportation, I mean, I know people that are always looking for rides or stuff like that to get to the sports place. Like, I don't want people to leave Socorro. That's what I mean, transportation. Like, people always have to get their kids together and go all the way to Blackie Chester. Always have to go all the way to even Modesto, even everywhere where the leagues are. This league will be here in Socorro. We'll have certain sports, we might not have every sport, but we'll have those kids doing something on the weekdays and on the weekends. So the little transportation is no más como, like I can tell you, I just don't want people to drive out of the city.
We're gonna have it here.
It's gonna be here, it's gonna be run here, and the kids don't have to go to the sports events. The kids don't have to go to any other park outside of Socorro. Everything's gonna be here. The only transportation that I mean is that some kids don't play soccer because the parents can't take them to practice.
Oh, that's like a use of bus.
I wish.
City bus to
That would be cool too.
That would be
Very cool, because then everybody could play and everybody could.
ride the bus.
Yeah, it is just making it available to everybody, and that would be a big something just for the kids to know, and it'd be District 1 again, District 2, District 3, and District 4, and then we can always, and it stays here, and we do everything here, and